Hey, beautiful people. You're watching this right now. It is September 2nd, and I'm just catching up on what has happened in terms of the Hurricane Ida information. I'm from Louisiana, so I was very, very upset this weekend and had to process a lot of feelings around Hurricane Ida hitting Louisiana. But now I'm in a better place now, and I'm catching up on the news again, and I'm seeing that now there's just historic flooding all across Pennsylvania and New Jersey. I am watching people get airlifted, whole neighborhood flooded. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can. So I just want to just bring some mindfulness into the space today that this is what people are dealing with today. Hey there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, I'm just taking in the Hurricane Ida destruction today. I'm just, oh, that's good. Oh, I have to say, I have never seen anything like this, especially not from one storm, one hurricane. Okay, so I just want to be offer some mindfulness for what people may be going through this week. My family is in Louisiana, family and friends. And a lot of people are suddenly dealing with disasters. The wildfires here in California are getting worse as well. So, yeah, so, just to bring some mindfulness to the difficult things people are going through, during this time. Whew. So, welcome everyone. Welcome. If you're watching this video or if you're here, hello. And my name is Dr. Donnie, and I am the host of this class called Emotions for Dummies. Emotions for Dummies, and it's a series of classes for helping you to get in touch with your feelings. And just so you know a bit about me, I'm a college professor here at CSU East Bay in Hayward, California. I teach social emotional learning. I'm not even tenure track anymore. I got tenure over the summer, so I'm an associate college professor. And I am going back to school to get another master's degree in counseling so I can become a school counselor. I actually had my first day of my internship today. I got to go to a high school and meet all the principal and all this stuff, and it was really cool. It reminded me of I haven't been in a high school in 20 years, so I just took that in. I had to really take that in. I'm really looking forward to working with these young people and giving them some skills to help them with their feelings and hopefully, let them live their dreams, Yeah, woohoo, go me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of these classes is that it's a easy, accessible place for you to get in touch with your feelings. Okay, because feelings are hard. Feelings are hard. I mean, You know, and I did the best I can to make them easier. But boy, you know, life just isn't easy. Like these disasters, you know, disasters happen to all of us in life. Life's not easy, but we can learn how to manage it better. We can learn to be kinder to ourselves. We can learn to love ourselves through all the difficulties of life. You know, there was a guy just now on this video. He was coming out of a raft, and he said, "Oh, well, you know, I know my house is gone. I know everything's gone. I know everything's gone. But at least my family's here. You can't replace life." Oh, you know, that's so true. That's so true. It's so true. Even if your dog dies and you say, "Oh, I can't handle this loss. I'll just go buy another dog tomorrow." You can't replace life. You really can't. You really can't. That really does show you how precious it is. So, but just to honor that. Honor that. Your life is precious. Your life is precious. Your feelings make up your life. Your feelings are precious. Okay. So, with that in mind, let me share with all of you the workbook that we're going to be using for this class. This class was originally a 1-month course, but I decided to make it a 2-month course just so we could have more time to really feel through things. No need to rush, more time to feel. And as you know, this class is called Emotions for Dummies, but I just want to make it clear that the biggest dummy here is always going to be yours truly. Okay, it's always me. Okay, it's really welcome, welcome. So I just want to say the biggest dummy here will always be yours truly. This is a space for us to get in touch with our feelings. This is a space for me to get in touch with my feelings, right? So we're all learning from each other here. Okay. This is my name and my email address in case you want to send me anything, if you have any feelings. If it moves you so much and you really get a lot out of this, consider leaving a donation as well. Anything that goes here goes to spread the word. And there's a link here to copy and share it with other people. I'm also, just so you know, I'm working on a Spanish version of this workbook as well to help the Hispanic community. We have a large Hispanic community here. And I'm working on another version in Chinese. I'm going to get a student to help make a copy in Chinese. Mr. Shane, I'm hearing your microphone is on.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I did not realize that. I'm sure it was a lot of activity that you were hearing going on over here. I'll go ahead.
Not a ton of activity, just a little bit, but just want to let you know.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting home from work, so but yeah, I'm definitely present.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So I always like to start class by asking, how are you feeling? So let me just ask that question now. And you're welcome to type or speak. How are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
Feeling okay.
Feeling okay.
Yeah. I don't know. A little frustrated, I guess. But,
Okay, feeling okay and frustrated.
but I don't know. I guess that's probably about the norm these days. So that would be on the okay scale.
I love that. Okay, feeling okay, kind of frustrated, but that's the norm these days. That's technically still okay as far as these days go on the normal scale. I love that. Okay. So we got a feeling, we got the context, we got a whole bunch of things there. That's very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. And here we go. Feeling good. Made a kale and Spanish salad. That's healthy. Feeling love and a little anxious. Complex. Ooh, like that. Feeling good. Made a kale and Spanish salad. Feeling love and a little anxious.
I'm feeling a little bit jealous about the kale and Spanish salad because I had to settle for some frosted mini wheats. So I don't know.
I have to tell you, I'm a little jealous about the salad. Also, I'm kind of wondering what the salad dressing was. Just curious. Just not so much about feelings, but I'm just personally curious. I have to say. I had ramen noodles for lunch today, so yeah, I'm very happy for you. Very happy for you getting that health on. Good. And what I also appreciate about both of your answers is that there were layers. There were layers to your feelings. So you acknowledged that you're not just good, bad, happy, sad. Not just okay. There's okay, and I'm also feeling a little anxious, and I'm a little pissed off, and things lately have been constantly pissing me off, and all of that is an honest answer, honoring all of your feelings. Yeah.
Mm.
Didn't use one. Put blueberries, apples, onions, lunch meat, tomatoes, and cheese. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
It's almost
Very, very, very full. Very
mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Full body stuff. Man.
And I'm sure with the blueberries that added some liquids, so you probably didn't need dressing anyway. Right on. Right on. Well, on that note, actually, of how wonderful that salad is, today, as you can see from this table of contents, we are going to go through a self-care plan. Wait. I switch on and off on eating meat. Did 5 days without and 3 days with it. Right on. Right on. Right on. I had tofu in my ramen noodles today. Yeah. Right on. Right on. It's nice. We're all um, adapting our life, we're adapting our eating habits to be healthier to the planet and to ourselves. I think that's a really good thing. Tofu is wonderful. Tofu is wonderful. I put tofu in my salad all the time. All the time. Tofu by itself is more or less tasteless, but whatever you mix it in, it tastes like that, and it just gives you the protein. It just gives you that feeling of protein. Yeah. So does bacon, but bacon is not so healthy. So okay, so sometimes there's a time for bacon, and sometimes it's the time for tofu. Sometimes. So I broke up this class was originally a 2 month class, and I'm breaking it up into 2 months, and it's drop in whenever. I just want to go through what we're going to learn over the course of the 2 months. Okay, as you come. Today we're going to go through a self-care plan and an emotions list. Next week is an intro into mindfulness meditation and how to tell yourself the truth, which is rather important. Week 3 is healing from trauma. So we're going to just straight up have a whole class talking about trauma and how to address feelings of trauma. Okay, we've got exercises to practice. Week 4 is a Byron Katie Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. It's a somewhat more complex worksheet where you write down statements and then turn them around and learn more about yourself. So we'll try that then. Week 5 is an exercise in self-love, acceptance, and validation. So in case you never heard of that term before, you're going to get a real great exercise to learn how to build self-love for yourself. And then week 6 and 7 are meditating. So we're going to meditate on emotions and do a body scan meditation, 2 really deep meditations. And then finally, week 8, we put it all together in an exercise I call the ego killer, which is actually a midterm for all the classes I teach as a college professor. Okay, and this workbook is actually the first half of the entire workbook I have, which is called the Book of You.
Book of You. Can I ask a question? Where do you teach at?
Yes. I'm a sociology professor at CSU East Bay in Hayward.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you come to the regular course, I teach a beginner course, a regular course, this one, and then advanced course. And if you come to the advanced course, I will just give you the whole workbook so that way you can do these exercises with the whole workbook. Okay. So with that being said, let's get going here. Let's talk about this self-care plan. Or actually, maybe I should talk a little bit more about this workbook here. Okay, just a couple of things. This workbook as a whole, I went through 40-something books on trauma, developmental psychology, the classes I teach in sociology, and I put all that together to help me and everyone else understand how feelings work. Most of us never got an education on how feelings work. There's just sort of an assumption that you will feel stuff and figure it out, more or less. And that's just a ridiculous assumption given the world we live in. So this book is really about understanding how feelings work and not just reading about them, because all that reading was nice, but I felt like I had to translate the reading into something that actually worked for me. And so I turned all that reading into worksheets, and those worksheets became this workbook. Okay. So it's a workbook for a reason, because it's about really, you have to learn feelings by engaging in them. You can't just talk about feelings, right? And so since this class is all about feelings, it's important to note that your feelings are going to come up in these classes, right? You may get triggered, right? Triggered is just a word for sensitive feelings. So today we are going to work on a self-care plan for taking care of any difficult feelings. So that way you have a plan in place for what you can handle and what to do when something comes up that you can't handle, okay? And the idea of all of these classes is to build small, baby steps. Take on what you can handle, learn how the skill works, and then, as things move on, you can try something harder. And then, one day you get through those hard things, and who knows, maybe the next really big thing shows up in your life. That day the doctor tells you have cancer, or that day your mom, passes away, or the hurricane happened and your house is totally gone. These tools, I wouldn't recommend doing any of those things maybe the first time I learned these tools, but once you understand how these tools work, the second, the third, the fourth time, then you can handle those harder and harder things. Okay. And then, of course, this workbook is not a substitution for therapy or crisis care. If you feel you need the long-term help of a licensed professional, please access a psychologist, therapist, counselor, or confidant of your choice. If you are in a crisis and in need of help, please access a crisis center who can help you find resources or call emergency services such as the police, a hospital, or dial 911. Okay, so self-care. So first of all, you may have never heard of the phrase self-care before in your life. That might be a foreign statement. So just take a moment and just see what comes up for you when you hear the words self-care. On a logical level, I suppose we can all agree it means taking care of yourself. But on an emotional level, that can bring up stuff. How well are you taking care of yourself? Sometimes we can honestly admit that we don't take very good care of ourselves. Sometimes we can look at ways in which we do and other ways in which we don't. Whatever comes up for you, it's just about honoring your feelings. This is where you are right here, right now in your self-care journey. Okay, so just notice that there's all these categories here. Physical, psychological, mental, cognitive, relational, financial, environmental. Okay, all these categories. And that there is honest go-tos and healthier options. So we're going to look up definitions for all of these things, and then we're going to ask ourselves, what is our honest go-to? And then what would a healthier option be? Okay. But first, we're going to try these down here. When I feel something I can't handle, what are your honest go-tos? When you feel something you can't handle, what are your honest go-tos?
Oh no, so I'm trying to figure out like what is something that I can't handle? Like what does that mean? Something I can't handle. Like how do I know it's something that I can't handle?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And the only answer for that is you'd have to breathe into it.
Breathing.
Good. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. You know, we all go through a range of things in life and have these moments where they get difficult.
I think I'm going through a lot of those right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you feel those moments come up in life, what is your general honest things that you do? This is all an exercise in how honest can we be with ourselves. You know, when I feel something I can't handle, I start shaking. When I feel something I can't handle, I think about how quickly can I find some weed to get stoned so I don't have to deal with this.
I'd say that's like a throwback answer, but current times. No, I guess I kind of brush it off now. That's that'll be my answer. Brush it off.
Mm,
I try and brush it
mm. Just brush it off. You just brush it off.
off and not think about it, which probably isn't
Try
healthy
not
because
to
then,
think about it.
it's gonna come back. So,
Okay, okay. It's just good to know. It's good to know.
oh,
And then what? Oh, yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to copy this sheet down and write my answer down?
Oh, yes. You're more than welcome to save a copy for yourself.
Okay.
And work on this over the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Work on this over the week. So your honest go-to is to brush it off. So what would a healthier option be? Just creative thinking. What would a healthier option be?
I mean, I would feel like probably talk about it or um dissect it or like approach it in some type of way that's more meaningful, address the issue there and then, but like what does that really entail, like address the issue there and then. I feel like I sometimes like I really do want to like talk about things, but it's just like these days I don't feel like I really have anyone that I can really talk about things with, you know what I mean? So let's just this is like the more complex serious things that are going on in my life, so it's like
Yes.
and
Yes.
I've tried to access it.
So
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
yes. So you just gave. I mean, you gave like 4 or 5 healthier options right there.
Hmm.
You could talk to someone about it. Um, well, you said several things there. You said give yourself some space. All of those things would be healthier than just avoiding it, and that's the idea. Now, I also noticed you came up with healthier options, and then you sort of like beat yourself down, and then because you kind of went like, well, what's the point though? It's too heavy, and I need someone to talk to about those things.
Mm.
Well, hey, let's acknowledge one other thing. A person you could talk to about these things is you. You're a person. You're right there.
I am
You
me.
know? There is a person there who needs to have a conversation. You just said it. So having more conversation with yourself about these things is also another healthier option you can put on that list. Okay. And let's keep trying here. When I can tell I'm about to cry. Now, when I feel something I can handle, I can I'm not sure. What does that really mean? I don't know. But when I can tell I'm about to cry, I generally, that's a real thing. That's a real moment right there. So what is your honest go-to when you can tell you're about to cry? What do? Play it off?
No, I mean that's happened a couple times recently too. I usually
Yeah.
just like probably end up just looking up, blinking a couple times, and maybe a tear or two will come out. Brush away like fuck it. Excuse my language. But that's
Yeah. Yeah.
probably the exact words that come out of my mouth. I'm just like whatever. And then brush it off.
And okay. So a tear comes up and you say fuck it and brush it off.
Basically.
That's honest. That's
Basically.
honest. That's honest.
Like
Okay.
it's just in order to try and like maintain some type of like positivity or not
Mm-hmm.
like just throw because I feel like if I really
So,
like delve into it right there, then it's I'm gonna like fall into some hole. You know what I'm saying? That it's hard to. I know it's hard to get out of. So it's like I don't wanna like dwell on it. You know what I mean? Like I know it is what it is. I just like I have to accept it. Like I can't. There's really not. I mean, now of course there's other situations, but a lot of these situations I'm talking about, it's just forces that are way beyond my control or things that are just irreversible. And it's basically just about acceptance, just learning to accept it. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I try not to think about it too much, and I would
Okay. Hey, you try not to think about it too much because that's a way to be um, kind to yourself, to help you to accept something you don't want to accept.
right.
Yeah, yeah. That's honest. That's honest. Okay. And what would a healthier option be?
Probably talk to a therapist.
Okay, well, you could tell you're about to cry. You could talk to a therapist, yes. But what
I would,
else? What else?
I don't know, work out.
You could work out. Okay.
That's what I used to do a lot. If I was stressed out or anxious, like I would just kind of like work it out of me. I would just work out basically until I was exhausted. Now, you can't really feel like that once you just exerted yourself to close to exhaustion. You just feel like, you always. I mean, I won't say always, but if you're like in a if you're in a habit of working out, then it feels good after you're done working out. So normally when I'm in a habit of working out, I'll feel better.
Okay. So you work out to exhaustion, so you kind of not deal with the feeling, but feel better,
Basically.
basically. Okay. 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 So now, and there's some other questions here to look at later. What do you want to work on? What's getting in your way? What triggers you? What kind of negative strategies do you want to avoid? And I would definitely recommend sitting with those, putting some words to that. And let's take a look at this wheel. Here are two self-care wheels. So as you can see, there's the explanation to all those definitions. So emotive self-care is how you express yourself. How you express yourself. You know, let's pause on that one for a second. How do you express yourself? Take a deep breath. How do you express yourself in the world? You might see images go through your mind. That is your emotive self-care. I can also think of all the ways maybe I don't express myself. So all the places I need to work on my self-care. Times I'm actually having a meeting with someone tomorrow where I've been avoiding having this meeting with them because they make me angry. And so yeah, that's why. That's honest. And so I'm having a meeting with them tomorrow, a meeting I've avoided since September of last year. It's finally happening tomorrow. I'm really thinking about how do I approach that meeting. I got a list over here. Thinking about how to approach that meeting. So that way it's as productive as possible and I get what I need out of it since I know that other person, they're going to have whatever reaction they're going to have. That's my self-care right there. That is my emotive self-care. I'm also making a plan so that way I feel safe in that situation. I make it a point to hang out with people who I feel safe with, so I can express myself around safe people. So that way I don't have to deal with unpleasant or judgmental things that I can't handle. Those are all parts of my emotive self-care. People who I don't trust, people who I don't keep close to me, well, I do a lot of smiling. I'm from the South, so I do a lot of smiling, but some people, we have a wall up against those people or a barrier so that way you don't have to take on that energy. That also could be your emotive self-care. Okay, so that's worth thinking about. What is your emotive self-care, your honest go-tos, and then what would be the healthier options? Giving other people the benefit of the doubt. Recognizing that if I hold on to resentment, I'm really hurting me instead of hurting the other person. What do they say? Resentment is drinking poison, wanting your enemy to die. Okay, so that's something right there I can look at real quick. Okay, in terms of my self care. Yeah, how do I deal with my anger, my sadness, my hurt? Yeah, yeah, that's worth sitting with. That's worth sitting with. Another one is luminescent self care. How do you illuminate your inner truth? That's a question you may have never asked yourself before. So that's worth sitting with. How do you illuminate your inner truth? How do you radiate what is your unique inner you? Do you radiate it? Have you stuffed it so far down you can't even see it anymore?
Well, I'm sorry. What was it? Do you what? Do you how do you what your inner you and do you what?
How do you illuminate your inner truth?
No, but you said do you read you or do you something you
Oh,
said?
well, some people, we have stuffed our inner truth down so far, we wouldn't know what it is.
Hmm.
You know, some of us had our inner truth, our inner light smashed as children, and you may still be trying to find it now. That's important. That's an important part of, that's your honest go-to. How do you illuminate your inner truth? Some people just radiate anger at people all the time, you know. Some people are like constantly positive no matter what happens. And that can also be really nice but superficial. These are all different ways we illuminate our inner truth. Really worth thinking about. Really worth thinking about. And then, of course, what would a healthier option be? If I'm somebody who's smiling all the time but I can't tell people what I really feel, you know, giving myself permission to say a negative thing might be a breakthrough for that person. If I'm somebody who, yeah, I'm really shy all the time, I never really put myself out there, just taking that one step, that one step to say hi to someone else or put your hand out for the handshake or, actually apply for the job that you thought you'd never get. That can be huge. And even if you don't get it, even if it doesn't work out well, even if that other person doesn't want to shake your hand, the fact that you did it was one step toward getting in touch with your inner truth, your inner truth, your self-care. Okay? That person who didn't want to shake your hand, well, fuck them, okay? Right? Let them figure out their own life. Do what you need for you. Honor your inner truth. Honor your inner truth. Okay, so there's a bunch of categories here. Financial self-care, cognitive self-care, how do you think? Attitudinal self-care, how do you contribute to the world? Relational self-care, how do you connect with others? Environmental self-care, how do you harmonize with nature? And systemic self-care, how do you eat, move, and rest? And that's a big one. Just the simple eat, move, and rest. We do those things. Well, you eat 3 times a day, and you're likely moving constantly, and you have to rest at least once or twice. So that's like 5, 6 things right there that you can do to take care of yourself every day if you think about eating healthy or eating things you like. A little bit of movement. What kind of movement do you really enjoy? And you mentioned the gym earlier, and I have a gym membership also. I picked the gym membership to a place with a nice sauna, so I could lay down in that sauna. Let me tell you, that's some real good self care right there. Okay. But I also got me some hacky sacks and some balls to juggle because I really like juggling. And I really like playing hacky sack. And that's something I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And that's been a great exercise for me.
Yeah, skateboard. I think that's my like outlet.
Say that again?
I skateboard. I think that's like my outlet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah,
Just pick up
skateboarding.
is
Skateboarding gets you nature. You get to be outside. You get to move your legs.
I put it down for like a good a while, probably since I was like 13. I hadn't skated, and I was just thinking about it recently, and it's kind of like getting reacquainted with the old love. It's like you get all excited, and I got like bringing my board everywhere with me, and rediscovering how much fun it was, remembering, and so that's cool because I'm like I take it everywhere, and I work in the city, so I
Oh.
can I take it out there and work and can go skate on my breaks, and it's just like it gives me something to look forward to. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
riding motorcycles used to be it, but it was
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's dangerous. Everyone just saying I shouldn't be on a motorcycle, and I ended up selling my bike. I still have one at the house, but I don't really ride it. Um, but someone that I knew died actually like a block down the street from me. He was like dead on arrival. I wasn't that close to him, but I used to ride with him sometimes, and it was like on a really slow. It was like a 35-mile-per-hour street, and it just
Yeah.
like everyone has been telling me for years. I've even been in two motorcycle accidents, and everyone has been telling me for years, stop riding, stop riding, stop riding. You're gonna die, and I'm like, well, I love it. It's like it makes me happy. Like it makes me look forward to my days. And then
Yeah.
yeah, when that happened, I remember I was like, I looked on the app. I had like this app because I was looking for a lost dog, and I saw that happened, and it just hit me. I was like, I don't think that I want to go out like that, especially like it could be that unexpected on a 35-mile-per-hour street. So yeah, and I sold my bike.
Hmm. Well, well, what's important in that story is you were doing something that you felt was right for you.
Hmm.
Everyone else was expressing their concern, and you really didn't want to hear it until something happened which led you to believe it was true.
I mean, and I knew it was true. It just really hit home. Like I knew I it's not like I didn't know it was true. I mean, my
Oh, it was true in an abstract sense, but it wasn't true for you. Like
well, I
it
mean,
might happen to somebody someday, or you someday, but it wouldn't really happen to you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I guess my feelings. I feel like my feelings changed. Like my thoughts on it before were like, well, if I die riding a motorcycle, like if this makes me happy, if I feel like I need this in order to like be happy, then if I don't have this in my life and I'm not happy, then what is like is life really worth living if you're not enjoying your life? It's like we all have to die. I feel like we're all we all are facing death. It's gonna happen. It's no like I'm not trying to be morbid or negative. Like
No,
I'm just
no,
like
no.
we're
This is
all
good. This is good. When I'm facing death, what is my honest go-to?
when I'm facing death, what is my honest go to? I feel like I just react. I don't think I really think about it much.
You
Um
don't think about it.
it's just kind of
You
like a
just
survival.
react. You know.
That's my opinion of my situations I've been in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. And then what would a healthier option be?
like for a mental healthier option, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I feel like just survival most probably the healthiest option you could go with is self-preservation, survival of the fittest, and I think I'm just trying to get through the day to see tomorrow. So I just
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay. So you're when faced with death, a
what a
healthier
healthy
option is to think about tomorrow, value your life.
definitely.
I'm hearing that definitely. Those sound
I
like
mean,
healthier options to me.
I definitely value my life. It's like I know I have a lot to contribute. Like I've got a lot of things in the process in the making right now.
Oh well, hey. So what I'm hearing is you don't ever have to justify how you're feeling ever.
No,
And what I really, because I'm hearing, you said something in the beginning how you were going through a lot, and I really felt that my heart had a moment when you said that. Okay, so I want to give you the experience of being able to just sit and be held through this experience. So whatever you are feeling, it's okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just relax. Just relax. I know when we're all going through a hard time can really just rub you, you know?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So
Really.
just I want to give you that space to feel some comfort here. Oh, oh, oh. I ride too, and I can relate in you giving it up. You're not alone there. See, you're not alone.
That was rough. That was hard. That was hard to do.
I bet it was. I bet it was. I bet it was. I bet it was for LA also. I missed the beginning. Apologize for being late. No worries. You come in when you come. This is a really great thing you're opening up for the community. Oh, well, thank you so much. Do we just chime in, or are you working one-on-one? You can chime in. You're more than welcome to chime in. You're more than welcome to chime in.
Waiting for you.
We're doing an exercise on self-care. Today is all about self-care. But yeah, anyone, anytime. You're more than welcome. Shane, if I'm feeling it right, Shane's going through a lot. So I really want to make space for Shane to really feel that it's okay to let go. That's okay to just be present, not have to worry so much. Yeah. Okay. So here's some ideas for what you can do to take care of yourself. So just just keep it real simple. Keep it real simple. So here's some psychological self-care. You can self-reflect, therapy, like I mentioned earlier, draw and paint, relax outside. Practice asking for and receiving help. Now that's not an easy one. That's advanced work there. Here's some emotional self-care. Cry, laugh, find a hobby, say I love you. Hey, how many times do we say I love you? Everyone in this room, did you say I love you today to yourself? Yeah, there's something. That's something. We all want someone to love us, right? I am now. Yeah, let me do it right now, too. I love you. Yeah. And I'm so glad you're doing this also. Good. Yeah. Love coloring. Have an adult one. Like to also color with inner child. Well, that's funny you should say that. I have workbooks. I have coloring books also. I have stuffed animals. I have all sorts of things here. I've got this wonderful little dog here. He has different faces. There you go. See? Here you go. Happy dog. He has all these faces. And now whenever I'm really feeling like I'm having a rough day, this dog is right here. Okay? This dog is right here for me whenever I need him. Okay? Yeah, things that connect you back to your inner child, that simpler time. That is so important for getting in touch with your feelings. Okay, here's some spiritual self-care. Go into nature, meditate, dance, bathe in the ocean. I don't know if I recommend that one in the Bay Area. That's a pretty cold ocean there. But if that's your thing, watching the sunset. Oh, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Now that's not an easy one. That's advanced work right there. Okay, personal self-care. Just relax. Hey, that's not easy. That's really not easy. Yeah. I mean, we live in a culture that's built on go, do, make, bigger, better, badder. Just relax. Well, am I on some super great, nice, expensive vacation relaxing? Because otherwise, what's the point? No, the point is to just relax. You can actually get more of a vacation. Well, now they call it a staycation for a reason. You could just stay home and actually let yourself relax. Not easy. I also like to give myself kisses and hugs, cuddle with my long pillow. Oh, a body pillow. Oh, yes, the body pillow. Yes to the body pillow. Absolutely. Kisses and hugs. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, cooking. For some of us, cooking for me is really relaxing.
I don't like cooking.
Okay. Well, your personal self-care may be takeout at your favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
Hey, and maybe one day you can actually decide to cook that meal, for yourself. You never know. Oh, the next one is learn who you are. That's a good one. Hey, were you going to say something? Hold on. You going to say something?
No, I was just Like sidebar comment. I just said it always tastes better when someone else makes it.
Hmm. Well, well, one day you never know. You never know. Cooking like self care is just one.
I've cooked. I have cooked, but it just I feel like I don't know. It could probably like people when I do cook, people tell me they can say it's delicious or it's good, but it's just I feel like since I knew what went into it and I saw it happen, it's like oh it wasn't that crazy. So it's like but then I guess it's the unknown when someone else makes it, and especially if they make the plate and it's arranged on the plate all nice, it just it does something. I don't know what it does.
Well, it sounds to me like when you cook something, you kind of judge yourself kind of harshly there.
They're not judging myself. It's just it just loses its.
Magic.
There you go. That's what it is. The magic. Because I know I didn't put any magic in it. I just threw it together. But when someone else does it, it's like they did some magic. So yeah, there you go. Sorry, that was a little sidebar, but
Hmm. Well, that's all right. And thank God for the magic in cooking. I mean,
definitely.
we all eat 3 times a day. I mean, thank God for the people who make all that magic. Yeah. And I'm from Louisiana, so cooking's a real big deal where I'm from. So
Mm,
all kinds of magic going on there.
mm,
Okay, self care. Nice bowl of red beans and rice, some gumbo. That's self
mm.
care in my world for sure. Okay, professional self care. We all work a lot, right? Professional self care is a big deal. Setting boundaries for yourself, taking the time for lunch. Oh, actually ate during a meeting today. Leave work at work. That that can be hard also. Get support from colleagues, plan your next career move. The last one says learn to say no. Again, advanced work right there. Some of us, that can be a very difficult thing, learning to say no. Sometimes some of us are so good at saying no, we just say no to everything, and we have to learn how to say yes. So, wherever you are in that journey, honest yeses and nos. Okay, honest yeses and nos are really important for self care, right? We often say yes when we don't really want to, or no when we really do want to, but maybe we're afraid. I wonder how many times in life I could have just said, instead of saying no, I would have just said, well, I want to say yes, but I'm going to say no because the truth is I'm just afraid. Ooh, how honest is that? How honest is that? That touches all these sensitive spots I feel in my heart. Okay. And then to make it even easier, there's a list here for even children. Because let's face it, we're all children. So if you're ever angry, sad, or upset, you can just read a book, drink some water, take a nap, take 20 deep breaths. You could just cry, draw or doodle, exercise. Here we go. Talk to a friend, ignore annoying people, do a puzzle, get a hug, cook or bake. See, there's so many things here. There's so many. Eat a fruit, take a walk, meditate, watch the sky or clouds. And then there's another list here as well. You can just count to 10. Place my hands over my ears and breathe slowly and deeply, listening to the sound that my breath makes. Roll my neck and shoulders. Hey, just so you know, our neck and shoulders is where we hold tension, stress, anger. So rolling your neck and shoulders can just get you in touch with those things, give you some instant relief. Okay, pushing your palms together. Give yourself a stuffed animal or a great big hug. Okay, there's just so many simple little things you could do. Eat a snack, you know. So many things you can do. Give yourself an arm massage. Give yourself an arm massage. So many things you can do just to make yourself feel better in the moment. You know, without all these options, you may just go grab the weed or grab the drinks or smash something or go driving at 120 miles an hour somewhere. And, you know, without any other options, why the hell would you not? Right? So we're just learning as many options as possible for dealing with our difficult feelings. Okay? Okay, so let's take a moment. Let's talk. Tell me how you all are feeling about all of this. Tell me what's coming up for you. Self-care. Any thoughts? Anything?
I think that I definitely like the plethora of options that I have been given access to that I really never thought about before. Never really
Mm,
thought about before self care or I don't know. I guess alternatives to dealing with emotions that you don't want to feel or dealing with feelings you don't want to feel. So that's cool.
yeah, wonderful. Anyone else? How you feeling?
Hi, yes, this is LA. Hi, Dr.
Hey.
Duffy. I think that those are really great options. I think, there are times when I'm in the moment where that's difficult, but I'm definitely going to try just the neck roll. And, sometimes in the moment, I feel pressure from the outside world or from people. And sometimes it might be a little bit weird to, shut my eyes and breathe or, with that pressure right there. But,
Okay.
I tried that last week
Mhm.
and I think it worked. I don't know, I think it might seem a little bit weird to people, but hi.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try that. You think it might seem weird to people? Fair enough. When I feel the pressure,
Yeah.
what is your honest go-to? When I feel the pressure, what do you do?
Yeah, I think a lot of times my brain just goes blank and then I feel more pressure because I don't
Oh
have
my
a
gosh.
thought in my head,
I'm
and
sorry.
a lot of times I'm being pressured, for what I'm thinking or to answer, and that's hard. But I think, next time I'm just going to breathe and do a neck roll and take care of myself, because otherwise, sometimes, like, some negativity can come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as healthier options go, one could just be acknowledge that I go blank.
Yeah.
Just be present with it. Um, Acknowledge that I want to do a neck roll and it makes me nervous doing it in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something real quick? Completely off topic.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to say, LA, I'll automatic like just off the jump. I already love you because have you seen the OA?
What's that?
So,
No.
Anyone seen the OA? Oh my goodness. You guys, well, you can't watch it because you're gonna be really disappointed because they cut it after season 3, and I was just, I
Okay.
mean, I don't really get too into shows or series, and it got good. So if you're curious, go on the Netflix, check out the OA.
I will.
You remind me of a character in so much your face and the way you talk, and it's a good thing. It's not like a bad thing,
Oh,
but like
really? I'll definitely have to check it out.
she's like a teacher who's
Okay.
down to earth, and she's just cool. And you remind me exactly of her. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that.
That's
That's why I was
okay.
smiling when.
Well, that's really funny because actually, that's the third time someone has said that I remind them of some counselor person they've seen on the show. So I have to see these shows. I want to see this. I want to see this.
It wasn't you. It was LA. It was LA that reminded me of the. But you know what? You actually do too. Now that you say it, you remind me of the counselor, and I know exactly who they're talking about. If they said it, if they're talking about the OA. You remind me of the. I bet you they told you it was the it was the FBI psych that she was going to see. She was like going to see an FBI psych. You remind me of it too.
Okay.
You both have to watch the show. Okay, sorry. I was completely off topic. Let's get back to it.
Not at all. Not at all. You might have just given me my Halloween costume for all I know. So the idea there is, if you start to feel any thoughts of, well, I would do that, but I can't. The goal is just to honor what you really feel right here, right now. Because we can't access, well, I want to do that, but I can't. We can only access the what's here. So if what's here is I'm feeling nervous and I don't know how to do those other things, it's just acknowledge I feel nervous. Sometimes the best self-care is just to be here and say, this is terrifying and I can't take this and I'm going to think about leaving the room. And if that's where you are, that's where you are today. But that's way more loving than going, well, I should be able to, tell them what I really feel, but I can't say anything right now. You see the difference there? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So barely that love, just right here, right now. Even if you are even if you are somebody who would define themselves as a total mess, you still have the ability to develop self-care for you. You deserve self-care for you right here, right now, where you are. And that's the real beauty of it. Yeah. Feeling good, working on giving self-freedom. That's a nice word. And all I do, tired of always feeling like it has to be right moment or time. Yeah, the pressure of that. That doesn't feel loving to feel that pressure. So you get the right to take the pressure off of yourself. You get the right to take the pressure off of yourself. And you get the right that your self-care practice doesn't have to look perfect. There is no perfect. That's just more pressure. Pressure I know very well. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a lot more loving. And yes, this is not a one and done kind of thing. This is something to revisit tomorrow, another day. The moment something goes wrong in your life and you're feeling all upset with yourself, how is that self-care going? It's a constant check-in. A person who was 100% loving, what would self-care look like for someone like that, That would be the goal. That would be the goal. Okay, so the next part of class, before I move on, does anyone have anything else they want to say? Let me just hold that there. Anything else? Anyone? A feeling of any kind? Okay, so remember I asked you, how are you feeling, right? And I asked you because I'm going to ask every class, but also because on page 12, there is a list of feelings. Page 12 has a list of what one might call negative feelings. And then page 13 has a list of what one might call positive feelings. Okay, so let's take a look at this list. And if any of these feelings correspond to how you were feeling when class started, let me know. Let me know. We need, most people often only have a few words for their feelings. Good, bad, happy, sad, fine. So we're really going to put our feelings into as broad a vocabulary as possible. The word fine can mean anything, literally anything, right? So let's take a look. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? So when I think about this meeting I have to have tomorrow with someone, I'm starting to feel a bit irritated and enraged. When I think about the hurricane, I feel pained. I feel pain. I feel sadness, dismayed. Dismayed. Let's see, what else? We got any happy emotions here? I just went to my internship at a high school, and I'm so excited to be there. Excited. That was another word I felt. Even exhilarated might be a good word there. I enjoyed it. Alive. Yeah. I was energetic. Spirited. Yeah, looking forward to working there. I hadn't put words to any of those feelings today. But putting words to those feelings really helps me to see them. And anyone else, how are you feeling? Any of these words correspond with your feelings? Is anyone feeling gloomy today or self-critical? Ooh, venomous. That's a good one. Venomous. Venomous. That's a good one. Poisonous.
I was gonna say is I don't. That's why I really don't like meditating because
Yeah.
I feel like I told you I normally I just brush it off and kind of just not think about what's going on in my life. So I kind of like I can have some like semblance of like normalcy or happiness throughout my day, and
Mm,
then if I start meditating and start thinking about it, that's when I start realizing like underneath it all like I do feel these feelings, but that's
mm,
why I tried going to a meditation group, and when they started meditating, I was like, oh man, I don't think I'm ever gonna go to another one of these again.
mm,
So I don't know what that's about, but
mm.
like is brushing it? Does that work better for me? She's like, should I just? I don't know. It's hard to because I feel like once I start thinking about things, that's when I realize that's when reality's like smacking me in the face.
Yeah. And meditation is generally one of these sort of sitting in silence kind of things. So if you have thoughts in your head, the moment you start sitting in silence, all the thoughts are going to come right up, right? So in this class, I'm going to teach you some skills so you don't have to just sit in silence. I'm going to teach you some skills for working with the thoughts. And when stuff comes up, you'll have a better ability to handle it. Okay? One day at a time, though. One day at a time. Okay? Yeah. Well, do any of these words, correspond to how you feel about meditation?
How I feel about meditation? I'm sure they do.
Let's
Uh,
see. Does meditation make you feel threatened in any way? Timid?
I'll tell you as soon as I see them. I'll tell you which ones remind me of meditation. How do I open these words? Oh, here we go.
Love it. Love it is a great answer. And what's another word for love? What's another word you could use there? It brings me. Ooh, let's see.
Um,
Mm,
I love it. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum for meditation for me.
joy and happiness. Yes, so for Antoinette, it brings her joy and happiness. That's
That's how
lovely. That's lovely.
I want that meditation point.
Well, I promise you, you stick with this class. Meditation will be something you will absolutely enjoy as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to, I show everyone how to meditate with their feelings. I also was a 20-year meditation instructor in Zen Buddhism, which is all about sitting in silence and rigidly, you know, rigidly not moving and being all looking above it all and trying to be peaceful. And that doesn't get you in touch with your feelings. Often people who sit like that have to then deal with their feelings, and they don't do very well. Or you spend all your time in silence, like in a silent community. So then you finally leave the silence and go back into the real world, and the real world can be very difficult after you've lived in silence for a long time. So in this class, we are going to learn how to meditate directly into the feelings themselves. So that way we can do the real work, the real work. Okay. So just stick around and just take it one moment at a time. Okay. And if the first part of that is being able to put it into words. So when it comes up, can you see it? If it comes up, there are people out there who have been through so much trauma that if they feel anything, they don't have a word for it. It wouldn't even matter if it was happy, or sad. It wouldn't matter what the feeling is. They've been taught if you've been through something so traumatic that feeling itself scared you, you can become somebody who just blocks off, shuts down all your feelings, right? And then you have no words for them. The moment a feeling comes, you feel all sorts of just confused. Except you probably wouldn't even use the word confused because that would be a word to describe your feelings there. Okay? And even someone like that, it just takes a little time, a little getting in touch, offering them that word confused, and then you get to go. See what confused feels like in your body. If you're feeling joy and happiness, what does joy and happiness feel like in your body? That word comes up, joy, and then you can scan your body and see what that feels like for you. Or take the opposite. Opposite of joy, I suppose, is sorrow. Sadness. Sadness. What does sadness feel like? So not just feel sadness, but also like become a scientist. Really, you're analyzing, you're gathering data on who you are. How do your feelings work? This is sadness. So we're gonna practice all this in this class. Okay. So that way when it comes up in the real world, you got some tools right there on how to deal with it. Okay. And so that way you can move through it instead of feeling stuck. And I'm just saying that as somebody who felt stuck for many, many years. I rarely ever feel stuck these days. Okay. And if I do feel stuck, I generally know why and I know what to do about it. And thank God. That's wonderful. That's progress. That's real progress. Okay. Okay, so today's class is self-care and feelings into words. Okay, let's check in. How are we doing? Actually, we have some time, so if you'd like to discuss, some difficulties going on in your life, and we can all offer self-care, loving things, put some words to those feelings, we can do that as well today. That's all. That's also what this space is for.
I would like to share, unless there was someone else, I think.
Oh, it looks like it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling to hear someone in my life who is, her and I have become alienated from one another, and I feel that she has a little bit of a distorted perception because of this alienation. There's been some outside factors. and how do I make her feel heard? Can you give me some techniques? Like if she shares something or, but I feel like she's not feeling seen by me or she's not being heard by me. And I'm trying to acknowledge, what's happening there, but, any tools that you can share that could maybe help with that process of making her feel heard.
So I'm hearing this really strong desire to help her. Yeah. Okay, so the biggest thing I can offer there is if you feel a strong desire to help her, that tells me the person who needs the help would be
Would it be me? Yeah.
maybe, potentially. I have found that we can't control other people's feelings and their interpretations of situations. We can only look at ours. So if your friend is having this reaction, if we don't try to fix your friend, what is it you would like from all of this?
Well, I'm trying to reestablish the relationship with her. And, this is a child too, by the way. So
Child meaning under the age of 5 or
she's 10.
10-year-old, a
Yeah.
10-year-old. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so there we go. Number one is you can't change or fix another person's feelings whatsoever. In fact, let's just start with that. It would be honoring completely what they feel. Completely. No labeling them as wrong.
Okay.
They don't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
Those things you might say to justify. You can. The first place would be to acknowledge that they are feeling what they are feeling because that is what they need to feel right here, right now. And then the same goes for you. You are feeling what you are feeling because it's what you need to feel right here, right now. Completely honoring your feelings makes space to be completely present with this beautiful child
Mm-hmm.
you want a friendship with. Yeah, yeah. Children can pick up on manipulation and control like that. Yeah. So any attempt at it is sabotage. You know, if another adult came into your life and said, "Well, I want her to see it differently," well, I mean, I get that, and people see what they see, right?
Great. Yeah, no, that's helpful. Yeah, thank you.
So what feelings come up for you when you hear all that?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I would say not so much feelings. I think the hard part is, you know, um, acknowledging my own feelings in that situation. That's hard to do because I'm angry about it. Um, and I'm resentful about what's happened between us. And so I feel like those are feelings that I shouldn't take into the interaction with a child, that I need to really kind of, be on a higher ground. And that is a constant struggle in those situations. But I do allow myself to, to feel those things, of course, but it also can be a little bit of a vicious circle. You kind of have to come up with a strategy. And I think you're absolutely right. Acknowledge what she is feeling, despite it being perhaps a distorted reality of some sort.
Despite it being a distorted reality. Well, everyone's reality is distorted. People see what they see.
Yes, and you said that. Yeah. I have to keep that in mind. Everybody sees through their own lens, right?
Shane, yeah, you want to say something?
This is just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, well, first I want to say, yeah, it's crazy how life is like we all share the same space, but we each have a reality that's unique to ourselves. It's like we're all sharing the same space, but I read a book one time called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a really popular book. I'm sure Dr. Donnie's read it. You may have heard of it or read it yourself, LA. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have, then he talks about the picture. You can see the either the elderly woman or a young lady, and it's like it's crazy how we can both see the same thing, yet we see different things in that same thing, and neither of us are wrong. It's completely contradictory what we're both seeing to to each other, but it's neither of us are wrong. We're actually both right. And I think that it's we have to always remember to keep an open mind and that we all can see things differently depending on the circumstances that we've been through in life. We look for different things. So that's I just want that just I wanted to say that in response to the last couple sentences you guys had just said. But
Yeah.
what I want my advice to be would be this is just me personally to approaching that situation, and I'm just putting myself in the shoes of whoever it is that you are going to see. You said it's a child, but I know like like certain instances in talking to um, I know certain instances in talking, let's say to my father, then if he's got his mind made up with something that that's is what it is, then that's what it is. And if the facts don't fit what he sees are the facts, then it's just the conversation is not gonna go. It's no conversation, period. So and that's never a good way. Like and I know that there'd be certain points in time like I can tell he has a willingness to want to try and listen, but he just can't do it because the facts don't fit his facts. And I may be wrong, but to me it sounds like that to me, kind of explains or is related to your situation in some way. So I mean, my response would be to just like really go into it with an open mind. And I mean, I'm just thinking, like I said, from the shoes of whoever it is you're going to see, because I even know for myself, even if like I wouldn't want him to sit there and lie and say he believed me or whatever, but even if he just would at least just listen to what I had to say, rather than sit there and like get frustrated and get mad and jump to his opinion, but just like hear my perspective. And then if he wants to give some logical input of his own after that, like, hey, I understand that you feel that way, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. This is how I see it. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad at that. But I mean, it'd probably
But
be
what
best.
would you want to hear from your father in that situation? I'm curious.
Well, I mean, one, I don't want to be lied to, so I want to hear the truth. But I think it would be better. The thing is you don't have to tell me the truth, though. You can, you have. I want you to tell me the truth, but you don't necessarily have to tell me your opinion. You can. He could just listen and say, like, oh, I understand. That's crazy. Empathize a little bit. Like, I understand that must be rough for you. Like, you just put yourself in that person's shoes. If this, tell yourself that, okay, if that's true and that's what they're feeling and that's true, then how would that make me feel if I felt that that was true? Like if I felt that this was true or whatever situation they're thinking is true, like, I guess that would be hard. And then tell them how you would, that's not lying, saying
Yeah.
that would be hard for you going through that situation. I could see how that would be hard. If I felt that way, I would probably feel. I mean, you can decide how far you want to take it, whatever you're comfortable with, but I feel like that would probably be beneficial to you both, because it seems like you have a willingness to want to hear her. And
Mhm.
yeah, like I said, he is a willingness sometimes, but it just goes left fast. So yeah,
Well,
my
that's really helpful, Shane. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
no problem.
Oh, and Antoinette says, working on moving from dismal avoidant to secure attachment style. That's worth reflecting on. What is your sort of go-to style for connecting with people? Some people it is just to avoid feelings, and yeah, the healthy way would be secure attachment. We're all trying to get to. Hey, so instead of advice, because that was good advice, and that was all the answers right there, really. You got to hear it. He's a young person too, so you got to hear it really from yeah. That was it really right there. But so I want to offer you this as well, is just to make space for your feelings. So you said resentment. I heard the resentment, the big R. So let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment. Resentment. Because I said this earlier, resentment is drinking poison, wanting your enemy to die, wanting your enemy to suffer. So it's useful just to sit for a second with what resentment feels like inside of us. Just scan your head, your neck and shoulders, your heart, your gut. Just scan your brain, scan everything. Scan your hands and feet. Where do you feel all that resentment? All those spaces you feel resentment. Can you give yourself compassion for going through what you're going through? Resentment's not right or wrong, it's just there. Not liking it doesn't make it go away. But can we give ourselves some compassion for how hard it is to deal with resentment with the people we love? Also, it's worth asking, did anything happen before this situation? Did anything happen in your life, in your childhood, that would have brought about these feelings of resentment? That's always the real good one worth sitting with. Yeah, big time. Big time. Yeah. What happened as a kid to me that connects to these feelings? And in that sense, if something big comes up, then that kid is a gift. What a gift. It gives you an opportunity to forgive you and make amends with them. And just sitting with that feeling, getting in touch. Self-care. You don't have to like the feeling either. You just acknowledge it's there. It's there. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to avoid. I'm not going to pretend like it's something else. I'm not going to throw it onto someone else. It's my resentment. It's right there. If I can just sit with it for a little bit. Can I be kind to myself while I sit with it? I don't have to have an answer. I can just be present in this moment, be with this feeling. And I don't have to go into a bunch of thoughts about it either. I can just feel. The heart feels, not the brain. The brain rationalizes. The brain keeps looking for an answer, a solution. The brain labels things problems and then looks for solutions. That's the beautiful thing about the brain. The heart feels. The heart doesn't judge. The heart takes whatever it gets and just feels. So letting go of the judgments just to make space with the feeling. And nothing may show up right now, but just making that space means that some other point in the future will come where that space will be there for you. And then, that feeling will come up, and then maybe you'll be able to deal with it a little differently this time. I bet you money if you get to a calm space where you can sit down and talk to this 10-year-old, I bet you money and that 10-year-old says the exact same thing Shane just said. Because you know what? It's the same things I would have said at 10 years old, too. It's the same things you would have said at 10 years old. It's the same thing we all want, right? To be heard, validated, understood, accepted, not judged. That's what we all want. Unconditional love. Love. So give it to yourself. Give it to yourself first and foremost. You deserve it for you. You deserve it for you. I don't totally understand all this resentment, but I can give it time and space. I know I am worth feeling through these feelings because my feelings matter to me. I am working on being a more loving person to myself so I can be more loving to everyone else in my life, to life itself. I can be more loving to life. Okay, just that little bit. Just that little bit of sinking can do so much. Can do so much. Okay. And there's other tips and tools and tactics that we'll take on another day. But just that alone. Just putting the feelings into words. One thing I'll also offer is being able to just go up to another person and say, hey, actually, I felt angry. But instead of throwing the anger out at them, just using the words, I felt angry and you made me really upset. And then seeing how the conversation goes, that they'll get angry and say, you made me upset also. And just being with that instead of throwing it out, just putting it all into words, just putting all the feelings into words. And you'll be teaching this 10-year-old how to deal with healthy emotions in a healthy way. And you are absolutely right. There are times when you get so angry you want to react, and doing that around children is a horrible idea. So yes, there are times to get away from that situation and process those feelings, punch something, scream at the top of your lungs. I highly recommend getting into a place where no one can hear you, like your car, and just screaming at the top of your lungs. Just banshee woman screaming crazy, letting it all out. Letting it all out.
Really? You think so? Because I feel like, like if I let out a little bit, I'm going to let out a lot. So I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that.
So you feel afraid. You feel afraid of your own anger. That's what that means. You feel afraid of your own anger. So getting in touch with it one step at a time. You can try screaming once a day. Make a practice out of it. That could be your meditation, actually. Just screaming at the top of your lungs once a day to get comfortable with your anger. Yeah.
When I didn't have when I had a lot of feelings that I really wanted to like express, that I just didn't have a lot of outlets to express them, and screaming and doing all the um, physical things just wasn't gonna work. I mean, I won't want to say it wasn't gonna work, but I couldn't do that. Worked for me was I would just like write it down. But however, when whatever form works for you, I used to write it in like music, or maybe if you want to do it in a poem or something like that. But something that's somewhat productive, and then when you're done doing it, if you've actually got something to show for it that you kind of feel somewhat, I don't know, proud or like somewhat of an accomplishment, you read it to yourself, or if like that's what music is, it's emotion. So if it was ended up being a song that I really ended up liking afterwards, and I mean, you feel better about it just off that you did something productive, like completing a task. You get that small, simple gratification, and you're like, okay, it's like you at least have something to feel better about that. If not, that you halfway got those feelings out. So I don't know. That's what works. That's what has worked for me in the past. At times, I don't know. Maybe you might want to even try that. I don't know if you like poetry. You could write a poem or something like that, but that works too.
And all these things are honor those actual feelings. They're all honoring your actual feelings. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I used to write a lot, poetry, and I've stopped. So yeah, I should try that. That's a good suggestion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
And
Oh, awesome.
I don't like making angry art, but that's the, so I'd have to express it in a beautiful way, but that's, you
Hey,
know.
art is. I think honest art is better than fake. Who wants fake art? I want honesty in my art, and that's what the best poetry comes from. That's what the best music comes from. You look at some of the best musicians out there, some of the most famous and some of the most praised musicians or poets out there, and what they all have. Most of them have one common denominator in their lives. They were troubled. They lived troubled lives. They were in mental turmoil, emotional conflict, constantly throughout their lives. I mean, some of the best painters, all of them. I think it's a trait of the overactive mind. Maybe I don't know.
Mm,
But I think that it's true. So you know, I think just be real with yourself. Put it down. You don't have to share it with nobody if you don't want to. But
mhm,
hey, it might be something that you end up being proud of, and you can look back at your life at certain times later on when you're doing much better, and read them and be like, wow, and then you'll even feel better because you'll be like, man, I remember that time, and I mean, I've been in times where I've been so down and out, literally with, I mean, just bad, and I mean, I learned that I had to do something positive or constructive, and it's like you eventually, like I eventually got comfortable. Like I could sit there and think about my whole life, like from when I would say, bad things started, and it like, it wouldn't even like it wouldn't really necessarily hurt, or maybe even the pain felt kind of like reminiscing on it brought back some, like even started to make me feel like relaxed and good sometimes. I'm trying to get back to that point right now. I can't feel like that right now. I want to be able to sit and meditate. Like that's why I said meditate. I know that it can be like a relaxing feeling, but I can't get there right now. I know when I'm there and I'm not there, I don't think I'm close right now. So yeah, I don't, maybe you are there though, and that'll work for you, but you definitely have to spend, and it sucks because it's work. It's not easy. It's work. It's like, I mean, it took a lot of work, a lot of introspection, a lot of just work on myself, reading a lot of different things and just thinking. You got to really just sit there and just, sit with yourself. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. So, yeah,
Mm,
that's my 2 cents again.
yeah,
thanks, thanks. Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly right.
It's not easy, but it is worth it, though. I can tell you it's worth it. The closest that I've ever been to feeling what I would say is normal, I would say after probably about 16 years old, I just lost all normalcy in my life. I mean, it was a build up to that point, but 16 was definitely, I just did everything. I lost everything, literally. And I just like, I forgot what normal is. I'm still trying to find what normal, I don't think I've ever, but I have tasted it. I've gotten close to that point. I've gotten very close, and I know that, and I'm telling, so I know it's possible. You just have to really sit down and do the work, and that's the truth. You got to do the things you don't want to do in order to enjoy the things you do want to do. So, I guess that's just life.
Yeah, so yeah, so getting in touch with that anger is, oh, he just gave you the greatest blueprint.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love this poetry idea too. Yeah, yeah. Now, our anger is hot and it can be really scary. I mean, if we've never been taught how to channel it. And it's so much a part of us, it's so much of our life energy. So, channeling that into ways that help us to build and grow instead of sequestering it and blocking it up is so needed. So needed. Yeah. Mm. Oh, Mr. Shane, thank you so much for your wisdom today. I just really, hmm,
I feel like
wisdom comes from people who've been through it.
that's. I was just gonna say. I feel like I really, I went through a lot in order to be able to share that. So I feel like it would be a disservice to me and life itself if I didn't at least impart what I learned from those situations um, to someone who is willing to listen, and that it may possibly help. Because yeah, I had to go through a lot to share that. So yeah. You know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm sure you all do.
Yeah, no, thank you, Shane. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna, it is work, and I'm gonna push myself to really just do it.
Beautiful.
And that's wonderful. And, you might not even have to push yourself. Maybe you can just be with what comes up. And when it comes up, it's the opportunity. Because pushing yourself sounds angry. Yeah.
Kind of like working out, you like you just kind of autopiloted it first, and then after the first week it starts to be routine, and then it starts to feel good. You start to enjoy it, and it's like you're helping yourself and it feels good. It's like, what isn't to feel good about? So I think all the things in life that really are like genuine organic, all the genuine organic beauty in life, that's how it is. It's work. It's not that instant gratification that we're all used to and crave nowadays. Like, that's not how life was meant to be. It's really not. We have this model of life in our heads that's just not realistic. And so we're setting ourselves up for failure with unrealistic expectations. We want to feel good instantly, and that's not how we're hardwired. So I don't know. I'm getting somewhat off topic, but it just that's what I see going on in the world today. That's what, like, I know for myself. That's how, when I felt best, is when I'm doing the things that I have to work to do. And it's just, it sucks. I wish I could just push a button, but that's not how it is.
Hmm. And we all have internalized a lot of unhealthy programming that we have to question, let go of, ask ourselves, is this working for me? What would work for me better? Self-care. Self-care is the antidote to the poisons of our society. That's it. That's it. Yeah. We've all ingrained a lot of unhealthy habits. Um, and you're right, they don't change overnight in any way, shape, or form. And we can just learn one baby step at a time to love ourselves through what we're going through, whatever it
Oh,
is.
let me add one more thing to that. You know what? Just in case there's any doubt anywhere, right? You don't have to have anything to do this. I had when I reached this point in my life, I had literally nothing, and that's including anybody. Like, it was no love around me, and so I think, like, imagine if I would have had some, like, support in my life, or people around me that cared about me, that, like, wanted, and were able to, like, help me along in this journey. Like, imagine, and that doesn't even necessarily have to be people that are like family, or people that have known me since the sandbox. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I'm just talking. If it could have been just people, like, in this group like this, like, I didn't even have people like you all to talk to, even just complete strangers, but yet that are, like, on a positive tip. Like, I had nothing. This was just me, myself, and I got there. So I'm just saying, if you got any doubts about, like, well, I don't have any, like, trust me, you can do it for sure, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you can do it for sure.
yeah.
Amen. Yeah, amen. Amen. And let's just have a moment. Let's just sit with all this for a second here. Make space. Hmm. My heart is very full. Just making space to be with what's in your heart, making space just to be with what you've been through. Compassion for yourself. And everything we've done because we love ourselves. We wanted love. Everything comes down to love. So all the hard times, all the struggles, all the pain, it's the love underneath it all. Yeah. Especially resentment. Underneath the resentment is love. That's the thing. And whatever you feel, you deserve your feelings. You deserve the right to feel through what you feel. To not judge yourself for feeling what you feel. To make a safe space. To make yourself a safe space. To feel through your feelings. Hmm. Oh, holy smokes. Hmm. Holy smokes. Okay. Well,
Shane, that's going to be my mantra in my head now. You could do it for sure. That's going to be my mantra
that's
this
awesome.
week.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Honestly, I should be thanking you because I feel a little bit better now. Um, I noticed a long time ago, around the same time that I was, figuring all this stuff out. I was telling you, I've noticed that when I had nothing, that helping people gave me something to feel good about. Like, and so if I could do something, or even just say something that helps you or anyone else in some type of way, I know when I'm like not doing good, that always helps me. And I don't know, I tend to forget it, and then either like these little gems will, I'll be blessed with them out of nowhere. Like today, I'm like going to get some help, and it comes in the most abstract way of me giving somebody else some help. You know what I'm saying? But So really, but I just want to let you know I should be thanking you, and I am thanking you. So thank you for being receptive to what I was saying, because that just that alone helped me, you know. Um, so yeah, thank you,
Oh,
LA. I knew I was gonna like you. See, I told you I was gonna like you.
Mm, mm, mm. Let's let all that gratitude just hit the heart. And you know what's crazy? Even the trouble, the hard times in our life can bring us people who will be grateful. How wonderful is that, right? We can all grow and learn from each other. How wonderful is that? Cuts across everything. Cuts across age and race and gender and all that stuff. Just cuts across everything. Yeah, the heart. Mm. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so on that beautiful note, yeah, let's just take a moment and we have so much gratitude in the room, and let's just hope everyone in the world can have an opportunity to open up and connect to their feelings. We are doing this so we can get in touch with us, so we can be better people, so we can connect to other people, so they can get in touch with themselves, so we can heal the whole world. Heal the whole world. It starts with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
wonderful.
I've thought about that before too. It's like if we would just each do one good thing in our day, like just help one person, even if it's in the smallest way. Sometimes like I don't that's like kind of my, I mean, I don't like always tell myself like I'm gonna go help somebody. I don't necessarily say those words in my head, but like when I leave the house, like the things that I do, that's kind of what I'm trying to, like, even if it's just make the clerk at the gas station smile when I'm buying something by just saying some little slick comment. If they laugh or smile, like, it makes me happy. And if we would all just do something so small
So
like
small.
in our day, and then the next person pass on to the next person, like, think how much better our existence would be. And you know what, it's one of the problems that I'm dealing with, actually kind of goes, I'm gonna like touch on that now, because I just feel like it just broke that open. It's like, you never know what the next person is going through. You never know what that stranger you're sitting next to is going through in life, and you just doing that small act of like saying screw you, or on the opposite end of the spectrum, that small act of kindness could just, I mean, it could literally change their lives. My best friend just took his own life recently, and I mean, it screwed me up. Like it really it screwed me up bad. Like I've had a lot of issues going on. Even when I was going through that stuff at 16, like I was trying to cry and I could not cry. Like I could not. I mean, maybe like a tear, some would come down. Like, I blink up and like blink it away. But like, this is the first time ever since he passed that I really just been breaking down, because I don't have a lot of close friends like that, especially that just like keep my best interests in mind and really care about me. And I mean, man, he was one of them. It just, yeah, that screwed me. So, anyways, you never know who you would be helping though.
That's
If I was
absolutely right.
there to talk to him, I mean, I know that wouldn't happen. But due to forces beyond my control, I couldn't be there. So it's just like, I wish somebody was there to just be able to tell him what he needed to hear, because I mean, I know it would have been, even if it would have just been somebody just calling him, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And everything happens in its way. We can't save you can't really save anybody. Life happens the way it happens. In the Buddhist conception of things, no one dies, no one's born and no one dies. Everything just changes forms. Or in the Christian way of things, everyone, I guess, goes to heaven, you know. But your friend's body may not be here anymore, but his presence is definitely still here, definitely with you in your heart. For all you know, he's watching over you right now. Yeah. And this is a great opportunity, yeah, to open up to those feelings and be there with your friend. Reconnect with your friend. Yeah. If that friend really cared about you and had your back, he'd want you to let it out. He'd want you to be healthy. He'd want you to heal. He'd want you to love. That's what a good friend would want. Yeah. Yeah. Self-care. Self-care is honoring what you feel.
That bastard.
Hmm. Whatever you feel. Whatever you feel.
That's what I catch myself saying that throughout the days. Like just now, where he'll pop in my head, I'll be like, "You motherfucker, man!" Like,
If
you
that's
know,
how it comes out, that's okay.
how it comes out. Like I'm like, he wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed.
Mm. Yeah, the regret. Yeah, the sadness and the regret.
To,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we had those talks.
Yeah.
We had those talks, and there'd be times like he'd call me too. Like we've been through really similar situations in life, especially like early on in life. I mean, I guess he went through it a little bit later, but it's just like we had those talks. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
fuck, like he would if he was going through something. Sometimes he'd call me and be like, like man, talk to me before I do something stupid. I never like really connecting what he meant, but I'm just like, like some stupid whatever. And we had those talks. So I just know, like, I feel like if he was able to call me, he would have called me. And what's really sad about it is my phone broke. And I actually called him on somebody else's phone, and he
Mhm.
answered. So I was like, I remember the thought there. I was gonna send him a text, be like, "Yo, it's whoop de whoop, hit me back if whatever. You can reach me at this number right now." And I was like, the thought in my head was, well, if he's not picking up numbers of people he don't know, random numbers, he must not be that, like whatever. I don't want to bother him, and I just let it sit. But
Let
normally
it
we
go.
talk every day. If we don't hear from each other like in 2 days, then one of us is calling the other one like, "Hey, what's up? Safety and welfare check. Like, what's going on? You good, bro? What are you up to?" And just man, like we didn't talk for like probably 2-3 weeks. And once
Oh.
again, due to forces beyond my control for most of that time, but it's just man, I ended up going by my uncle's house. I was on the way to Bible study, and I forgot my Bible. Went to pick up a Bible, and on the way there, just real quick, and yeah, he told me, and it just hit me hard. That shit came out of left field. I didn't, yeah. But thank y'all for listening, because I haven't really talked to nobody about it.
Of course, of course. So, okay, so suicide, these sorts of things are heavy, real heavy, real heavy. And it may be a good idea to consider seeking, a counselor, a therapist, setting
You
up a
know,
monthly appointment.
do that, and I actually found one I like, and she's been on vacation. She was hella cool. She was just like down to earth and like actually listen. That's what I've noticed. Like she just listened, and you could tell it wasn't no judgment. Even before I knew she was gonna be my psych, I talked to her like through some other channel, and just like she was just there, and I had a conversation in my head. I was like, yeah, she seems real cool. And then later when I ended up talking to her, my site was over the phone. I was like, wait a minute, didn't I meet you? And I've been trying to get in contact with. She's been on vacation, so I haven't been able to get a hold of her. And I went and talked to this other psych, and they just they didn't listen. I noticed they didn't listen at all. They basically told me they're like from the jump before I even said anything. They're like you sound like a victim, and I'm like, first off,
Oh
well, I
my
feel
God. Yeah.
like a victim right now in this appointment.
Yeah.
and
Wow.
and it was just like from the jump. That's what he said. And then next thing you know, he was like, he was just telling me like diagnosing, telling me all this stuff. First he said my last name reminds him of Italian. I'm like, it's not Italian. Then he goes off on this tangent about Italians. He just wasn't listening to me, and it was just like, I was like, man, I'm out of here. It almost cured me from ever seeing this like again. I was like, man, these people not listening.
Mm,
So
yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible, and I'm really sorry you had that experience. Yeah, there are good and bad psychologists out there, good and bad counselors. So it sucks that you had a great one, and then you're having a hard time reconnecting. Um,
I'll
um,
probably. I'm
yeah. Well, just just keep some of the thoughts open. It can really help to have someone to talk to, like you said. So if one person doesn't work, there are many other counselors out there. And finding one, if you do find one you really like, you might end up in a long term. You could be with that person for a whole year, you know. You could really open up and be in that non-judgmental space, and that can be really healing. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. Okay, okay. As we end class today, just remember the purpose of all of this is to be loving to ourselves, right? We're teaching ourselves compassion. We're teaching ourselves to make a healthy space for our feelings. It may not always feel good. It won't feel like candy and green tea ice cream, unfortunately. Um, but the more we do it, the more it will. It will feel better. Everything will feel better the more we make ourselves into a safe space to feel our feelings. Okay. I think on a logical level, we can all see how true that is at this point, right? Having this experience just in class alone, right? Yeah. Yeah. If you had seen who I was before I started all this, I couldn't sit with anything. It just takes time. It just takes time. Time, baby steps, one baby step at a time. And frankly, this class is more than a baby step. It's a nice full-on grown step. Okay, so congratulations to all of you for taking this big step, for honoring your feelings. Okay, everybody. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Appreciate your time. Yeah, you did that. That was good. That was good. That was like that facilitating at its it was nice to meet you, LA and Antoinette C. It was a pleasure, and hopefully, did I say call you OA? No, I called you LA. Go watch OA.
I
You
will.
said
I
you said
will.
to watch OA. Yes, yes. I wrote it down. Yes.
Suggestion. That was. I'm telling you, go watch it. Yeah, no. It was a pleasure to meet y'all. Really. And hopefully, until next time.
Yes. And so this time next week, we will go through how to meditate. So I will give a nice explanation. We'll connect it to all this self-care, and then you can get a real good understanding of how to make meditation work for you. Okay. That's next week. And if you can't make it next week, there will always be a video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank everybody for being here. Yeah, it was really wonderful. It really was. Yeah. Yeah, from the heart. From the heart. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Well, have a nice week. Have a nice weekend. Hopefully I see you next week. But either way, good luck with your thoughts and feelings. And thank you so much for sharing them all today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, your wisdom. Yeah. And good luck. Good luck with your friend. Good luck with your friend, LA.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And then you too, Antoinette. Have a nice night. Take care. Thank you so much for your presence as well. All right. Bye, everyone.